Hello crocheters, welcome to Crazy Cool Crochet. This is Sylvia, and today we are going to be working on this colorful crochet poncho. I wasn't quite sure what to call this. It looks almost like a Crochet Ruana, except that this one is closed in the front. But in any case, whatever we're going to call it, this is a really cute, colorful, lightweight crochet top. We are using number 3 sport weight yarn, and if you are going to follow the design that I've got here, I needed one main color, which is the purple, and then 5 of the accent colors. And because it's a sport weight number 3, this is fairly lightweight. So you can use it spring, summer, fall. Now, in addition to the yarn, we'll be needing scissors. The yarn needle and the hook is a G or a 4.25 millimeter. This tutorial will be for a size small, and if you need sizing adjustments, larger sizes, you will need to go to the blog at crazycoolcrochet.com. The sizing instructions will also be available in the Etsy pattern, and you will find that at my Etsy shop, which is called Crazy Cool Crochet US.etsy.com. You will find links to those destinations in the white space below the video in the description area. You do have to open that up manually. So for size small, we will start with a foundation chain of 166. Yes, that sounds ridiculously long. However, remember, we are working this way, so we are only doing relatively few rows going up. So in the end, it all balances out. And remember, this panel encompasses both the front and the back. So that's why we've got such a long starting foundation chain. And I will show you what that looks like in a minute here. So here is one of the completed panels. You do need to make 2 identical panels. But I wanted to show you how the one long panel is both the front and the back. And I have not worked in my tails yet, so it's still kind of messy. But this is the panel folded. That's the shoulder. There's the inside. So that would be the back, this would be the front. This is going along the front center. So when you do your second panel, it goes over here. So then you'll have the other shoulder over here. So what we are going to do, like I said, the chain of 166, and then we will do a half double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook, not counting the loop on the hook. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, half double. Three loops on the hook, pull through all 3. That's a half double. And you will do a half double in every chain down the row. So grab your yarn, go into the chain, grab the yarn again, 3 loops on the hook, half double crochet. So do that all the way across. So I'm just working on a swatch here. At the end of the row, you will chain 2 and turn. And you will have had 164 half double crochets. So now you will work another row of half double crochets. You will start into that very first space, right next to the chain. So just work your half doubles all the way across, and again you will have 164. And you will actually work that for a total of 12 rows. So here's where we are when we complete the 12 rows. Then we will change to the neon green. Now to change colors, let me undo that last half double crochet of the last row. So we start the last half double crochet, and then we stop with the 3 loops on the hook, We grab the next color. We complete the half double with the new color. So you take that yarn through all 3 loops, chain 3, and turn. And you do cut off the purple. We'll pick that back up when we complete these next few rows, or we will reattach, I should say. Okay, so now for this row, row 13, we're going to double crochet into the second space. So skip that very first one, into the second one, double crochet, chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet again, chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet into the next, chain 1, and keep repeating that all the way across the row. At the end of that row, we do our chain 1, and then we're going to enter our last double crochet into that last stitch. Stop with the last 2 loops on the hook because we're going to change to the next color. So I'm going to go ahead and leave a tail and cut it off, the green. Now my next color is red. So I'm going to complete that last double crochet with the red. So bring the yarn through the last 2 loops, chain 2, and turn. Okay, now this next row I think is a lot of fun. These stitches are so much fun. So now what we are going to do is begin a double crochet into that very first space. So yarn over, pull up the loops, stop right there. Now we're going to begin a front post double crochet around that double crochet below. So yarn over, go behind, go through that same space that you just worked, behind the double crochet, back to the front, grab the yarn, pull it up, and stop right there. Now we're going to do another double crochet into the next space. So yarn over, go through that next large space, pull up your loop. Now you should have 7 loops on the hook. We're going to pull the yarn through all except that last loop. So pull it through the 6. You'll have 2 loops on the hook. Pull through the last 2 and then chain 1. Now we're going to work into the exact same space. We're going to start that first double crochet. Stop there. Now we're going to go around and do a front post, or begin a front post double crochet. So yarn over, go through the same space around the back of that double crochet. Pull up your yarn, stop. Now a double crochet into the next space. So yarn over, into the space, pull up your yarn. 7 loops on the hook. Pull through the 6. Now you've got 2 loops on the hook. Pull through both, chain 1. And then you repeat that all the way across. So you first start in the same space that you just worked. So start the double crochet. Then start a front post double crochet along the next double crochet below, or behind, I should say. And then another double crochet into the next space. 7 loops on the hook. Pull through 6. Now you've got 2 loops. Pull through 2 and then chain 1. Let's continue that across the row. Now at the end of that red row, you do go around that last double crochet of the row below, complete your stitch, chain 1, and now do a double crochet into the turning chain. But don't complete it because we're going to change color again, this time to the yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the red, leaving a tail. Now complete that last double crochet with your next color, which for me is the yellow. And chain 3. And turn. Now we are going to enter a double crochet into the top of each of these stitches below. I'm going to call these clusters, just so I give them a name of some sort so that you know where we're working into. Okay, so now we're going to double crochet into this stitch right here. And chain 1. Now we're going to go into the next cluster, the top of it, with another double crochet. So there's your stitch. You're going under the 2-strand chain at the top, double crochet, chain 1. So what we are essentially doing is skipping a stitch and then double crocheting into the next one, which is the top of that little cluster. Chain 1, skip that next chain, go into the next stitch with a double crochet, chain 1, and just keep going across the row. At the end of the last row of the yellow double crochets, we enter a double crochet into the turning chain, and this will bring us to 82 double crochets, the same as the green. That was 82 double crochets. Now we're going to bring in the next color, which for me is blue. So we'll finish that last double crochet with the blue, chain 2, and turn. Now we're going to repeat the red row. So we start into that first big space. So you begin your double crochet, 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, go around the double crochet below for a front post double crochet. Do not complete it. 5 loops on the hook. Into the next large space, begin another double crochet. Now you've got 7 loops on the hook. Pull through the 6. Then pull through the last 2, chain 1. So just like before, do that again, starting in the same stitch that we just worked. And continue that across the row. At the end of that row, we enter a double crochet into the turning chain. Keep your 2 loops on the hook to change color. I'm going with orange. Complete the double crochet, chain 3, and turn. Now we will repeat that yellow row of the double crochets where we are entering into the top of the clusters. So you're skipping that first chain there, double crochet into that space, chain 1, skip the next chain, double crochet into the top of that cluster, chain 1, continue across the row. So at the end of that orange row of double crochets, we enter a double crochet into the turning chain. Then we bring in the purple. So we're going back to the purple half double crochets. So you chain 2, turn, enter your first half double into that first big space. Then half double into the top of that double crochet. Half double into the next space, half double into the double crochet, and keep going across the row. And you should end up with 164 half double crochets just like you've been working at the beginning. So this is the completed panel, and let me show you what we did with the rest of the rows. So you would have worked those purple half double crochets through row 36. And then on row 37, which is right here with the green. So we start row 37 with 30 half double crochets. So you just work normally, and then you stop and you attach the green. So just like we've been doing, you attach the next color. You chain 3. Then you will repeat row 13. At the last double crochet, you reattach. You cut off the green and you reattach the purple. And then you half double crochet in the remaining stitches for that row. And you chain 2 and turn. Then you will half double crochet for the first 29 stitches, and then you attach the red. Cut off the purple. Chain 3 with the red. You'll actually be over here. And then work your clusters exactly the way we did down here. So just rewind back to that beginning of the video. You will do that for 52 of these clusters. Then you'll cut off the red, reattach the purple, and do the half double crochets for the remainder of that row. Chain 2, turn, half double crochets. For row 39, you half double crochet into the first 30 stitches in the purple, change to yellow, chain 3, work the same number of double crochets, and then switch over to the purple again. Chain 2, turn, do your purple in the first 29 stitches, then change to blue, do your row of clusters, the same as the red, then change to purple, finish the row in the half double crochets in purple, chain 2, turn, half double crochets in purple. In the first 30 stitches, attach the orange, then finish off the row in the purple half doubles, and then cut off the yarn. That's it. You will be done with that panel. And then you make a second one identical. Now we are going to seam the 2 panels along the center. So situate your panels side by side, wrong side up. And in this case, the wrong side is the ugly side, okay? That's the best way to describe it, because technically this is supposed to be the right side. But it's not the pretty side, so we're going to call this the wrong side. Okay, so now we are going to seam up the center here. And you're going to use your yarn needle and a length of yarn. So of course you want to use purple for the purple stitches. And then I'm going to switch over to the orange, because I'm going to seam up the orange stitches, so I want the seam to blend in. Now this is where you can use your judgment how far up you want to seam, where you want the seam to end on your body. So I'm going to seam up for 14 of these double crochet stitches and then stop there, and then repeat the same thing on the other side. However, if you want a shallower neckline, you keep going up as far as you want, or a lower neckline, then just go up as far as you want. So for this, we're going to use a regular whip stitch. So take your panels, right sides are touching each other, wrong sides are facing you. And I didn't mention this previously, but you do want to weave in your tails first, or it's up to you if you want to weave them in later. Okay, so now just take the corner to corner, insert your needle under 2 strands on each panel, starting in the corner, of course. I always knot my ends. That's just me. You do this however you're comfortable. So now all you're going to do is go around and around, grabbing 2 stitches on each panel. Just keep going down the purple half double crochets and then tie it off. And then we'll attach the orange. So for the orange theme, you do it the same way as you did with the purple, except you want to make sure that you are lining up your double crochets on both panels. That will give you a nice finished look on the right side, as you can see. So do the other side just the same. Quick tip when you are weaving in the ends for the edge of the colored rows. That is your opportunity to tighten up that edge so that it's nice and neat. So just take your tail, bring it through the stitches here, and as needed, you can tighten it up to straighten out your row. Now right here, this seems fine. It doesn't look like it needs to be tightened up at all. So I'm just going to weave it in through here and be done with it. Same with the green. The green looks pretty good too. But you can see as I just pulled, if the green had been like that, then you can just pull on that tail to the length that you need that double crochet to be, and then weave this through. And here is the completed crochet poncho, kind of Ruana. Okay, I closed it up in the front, so it's not really a Ruana, but I left the sides open just to be different. It's entirely up to you. You can absolutely seam some of the sides and leave an opening for your armhole as deep as you want. It's entirely up to you. You can close it just a tiny little bit and then still have the bottoms open, but have a space for your arms. This is very customizable. You can wear this however you prefer. So make sure to give me a thumbs up down in the white space below the video if you like it. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're going to use different colors. And of course, subscribe if you've not done that yet. I would appreciate that so much. And we'll see you on the next project. Thank you.